All right, so just going to go to the course website. See, am I recording? Yes. Scroll down, there's the GitHub link. Assuming you're logged in, it's just easy to fork the repo. So you have your own version. Then you can do like GitHub Desktop. If you don't have GitHub Desktop, get it. When you open it up, you're probably going to want to log in. It's going to ask you for like a login or something. Then it'll be like synced to your account, so it'll know. You could do like, you could click the repo and you could like add, clone a repo. You do this, and it'll like show you whatever repos you have, so you can make a local clone of it, which is nice. I already have mine right here. There we go. Every time you open it up, you might want to do like a fetch to make sure it's all up to date. Looks like I've got 11 things that haven't been, 11 changes that have been made on the remote. So now I'm just going to pull them down so my local version is up to date. I'm pretty sure these changes are just like dependabot updates, so just like version of things have been updated. No real big deal. And when you clone the repo, you say where you want to save it. I was lazy and just put it on my desktop right here. But there we go. I've got it cloned. Whoop. Let's just lower that. Oh my goodness, come on. All right, well, there we go. So assuming you have it cloned, you go here and here. If we go back here real quick, let's see if it'll even work on my Windows computer, because it can be funny on Windows. So on Windows, this is how it's telling me to go. All right, copy. Let's see if I can get it working. Otherwise, I might be in trouble. All right. So I'm opening up terminal in the directory where the repo is. I'm just going to paste with So that means Python. Is it Python 3? Do I need to say Python 3? Of course. Let's try this again. But I'm going to do this with Python. Figure out what's wrong. Python was not found. Okay, that's great. Python 3. Not there. Okay, great. All right, so if you're on Windows, if your Python is set up nicely, this might work just fine. If you're like me, where Python is kind of annoying on Windows, the good news is, if you load this up in PyCharm, which is the IDE I recommend. Yeah. Sure, why not? I don't know what was open last here. Okay, let me open this. Okay, I'm opening up the course. So here we go. Cool. There we go. And fortunately, like PyCharm will go and like set up a virtual environment for you nicely, which is great. In fact, here, Python, let's see, this is a terminal. No, all right, that's funny. All right, but PyCharm will kind of take care of it for you, because it will go and find all of the, this right here, which is like the setup information, and it'll know. Sometimes you might even see like a pop-up at the top being like, hey, do you want to make a virtual environment based on the TOML stuff? And you can click yes. If you're the type of person who likes Visual Studio Code, that might have a similar thing. I'm not 100% sure. But however you do it, you're going to want to get a virtual environment set up. Suppose you don't need to do it with a virtual environment, but you're going to want to set up all the dependencies and whatnot. So there we go. Cool. So that's where I want us to be right now. Great. So if we go here to experimenting with the genetic algorithm. What I'm going to do is, this lecture is going to be basically like, kind of like more of like a lab, right? Where you've got it up and running, and I want you to be running the genetic algorithm that you'll have access to if you clone the repo. It's just going to be right there. And you're going to run it, and there's some exercises I want you to work through to get a feel for how it works, how certain hyperparameters affect how it runs, what the results look like, and just think about it a little bit. So that's how this lecture is going to work, okay? More of a series of activities. So if I go back here, all of the stuff is in the source directory, and GA max bit string is the one that we're using. Invalid interpreter, what are you talking about? It says it's right there. Let's see what happens. This one? Okay, cool. Now it's figuring everything out again. It might actually have, yeah, it's going to do some indexing and probably some updating because I haven't run it in a while. But if we go through this, this is the exact code that we looked at. In fact, this code was used to, like the website pulled this code directly and added it to the course content. So this is the code. You see the value fitness, right? Ignore that for a second. The value fitness, right? It's just doing, converting the binary number to an integer. And then down here, what do we got? We've got generation max fitness. This is some bookkeeping stuff. A population. We start by making randomly generated chromosomes, adding them to a population. And then for each generation in generations, create a new list of the fitness, calculate the fitness of each member of the population and add it to that fitness population, update the bookkeeping information, create this mating pool that's basically like the temporary next generation that we populate and then apply the genetic operators to. And again, this is just review from last time. I randomly pick some indices for tournament selection, apply tournament selection, get a chromosome, append it to the mating pool until the mating pool is full. Basically, I do this for each member of the population, right? I need to fill up the population. So far, so good? Happy, yeah? All right, then we do crossover for I from 0 to population size. You remember we count by twos because I'm always considering pairs. And I'm always considering, like, I'm not going to consider 0, 1, and then 1 and 2. I'm going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on and so on and so on. I suppose in this case it's important that I have an even length population, I guess. I guess I don't need to. It's just the last chromosome could never have crossover if that was the case. But whatever, nuanced nitty-gritty details. Apply the crossover. Update the mating pool. Whoop. Of course, it's telling me I need to do. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Activate. I don't know why I'm not logged in. I should be logged in.
But do you need the cat?
Well, because I have like, maybe if I with Google, because I have like the professional version I'm using. Hey, I can successful. Okay, good. Every year, perfect, yeah. It like updates, like you have to like reapply for it because I have like an education license. It's a whole thing. Did it not work? Activate new license. It's active until then, yeah, okay, good. Go away? What are you talking about? Thanks. PyCharm's great, I swear. Gee.
Not sold.
It's literally, first of all, did I not activate it? Second of all, it's telling me it's fine until the end of the month. So what's it up? Cancel? I don't want to remove the license. PyCharm? It's active. Yeah.
Does it continue?
Was there?
Yeah, continue on the bottom right. That.
Okay. All right. Thanks for reading for me. All right, back to this. And then mutation, go through each thing, roll the dice, see if we're applying mutation or not. And then finally make the population actually reference that new mating pool. Basically, the old population fades into oblivion, and we repeat. Finally, when that for loop ends, because the last thing we did was modify the contents of the population, each chromosome, we still need to do the fitness calculation one more time, based on how I did it. So I just do that again. I print out population fitness. I print out the population for fun. I add it to the bookkeeping stuff. And then I've got some commented out plot stuff here that we'll look at in a moment. So at the top, let's see. Bit string length 10, population size 10. It must be not, I guess technically not true, but it's nice if it's a population. Oh, what's a matplotlib? Oh, because it's not used. It will be used, don't worry. Tournament size 2, generations 25, crossover rate 70, mutation rate 10. These are the values I set. Cool? So let me hit run and see what happens. Not setup. I want this script to run. Run. What are you talking about? Oh my gosh. Every year, it's the same nonsense. How is it not set up? CS 101. Why is it? That's not the right interpreter. Why is it?
Yeah, I've noticed with PyCharm, I don't like how it does interpret.
It's helping me, right? Yeah. Okay. It's still saying CS 101. Oh, maybe I called it CS 101 there. But why is matplotlib not there? That's not true. All right, fine, whatever. I'm going to be fine. Install it. Great. I don't know why it's not there. Something's gone funny. This is why I hate Windows. It's not why I don't like PyCharm. PyCharm's fine. I blame Windows. Windows is fine unless you want to do anything, you know? Yeah, especially as it tries to help you more and more, it definitely makes things worse and worse. Okay.
Also, the terminal being command prompt or whatever. No.
You mean CMD? Yeah.
Bash.
But you can if you use PowerShell, which is basically everyone wants bash. So we'll concede and give them bash, but we won't call it bash. Yeah, anyways. Let's try again. Okay, there we go. Cool. So 1023 is probably the correct answer, right? 2 to the power of 10 is 1024, but 0 to 1020, right? So 1023 is the best answer. And we can see what I have here plotted out is the fitness. There should be 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? And then we should have 10 10-bit things, right? I'm not going to count them. I'm just
waiting for the mutation on the last bit.
I guess so, because it looks we actually didn't find the optimal. So, okay, let's just run it again, see if we do better this next time. Hey, we got it, cool. But you'll kind of, did you notice how on the last go around, there were a number that were 1022? It's because the population was converging. It had converged on the same, multiple members of the population, multiple candidate solutions were identical. They were converging, for better or worse. Here we could see okay, yeah, we got 1023, 1023, a bunch of 1019s, I bet you, okay, right? It's converging. But you see how evidently, convergence won't necessarily be on the best point or whatnot. I mean, probably as time went on, they'd move towards being correct in this particular example because it's a simple problem. But I suppose really instead of saying converging, maybe what I can say is a drop in diversity, right? You can see they clearly are becoming the same based on their values here, right? All right, run it again. Oh, look, 1021, right? It's clearly, in this case, it's converged. And And there's still chance we get to the optimal solution, but like crossover ain't going to do anything for us here, right? It's going to have to come from mutation. There's no way. This is the exact problem we were looking at last time, where they're all going to not have a 1 in that position. So crossover isn't going to do anything for us. Mutation would have to be the thing that fixes it for us. But you know, if I go up here, like we had a population size of 10 and 25 generations. That is hilariously little for both. Usually your population sizes are going to be bigger, and you're going to want to let it run for more than 25 generations. For a simple problem, we saw that it can work, but realistically, yeah, you know, we should maybe make this like 250 or something. And I'm guessing they're all going to come out, yeah, 10, 23. Ooh, a couple of bad ones. But remember, the bad ones aren't like this 511. Maybe on like the previous generation it was correct, but it did some crossover, and well, sometimes crossover can be very destructive and could actually like really hurt something, right? So presumably, if there was one more generation, these 511s, I don't know, maybe they do, maybe they don't really exist anymore. But yeah, we're getting to 1023s. If we make this problem even harder, like, I don't know, 20-bit string, 20 length, what's 2 to the power of 20? Someone help me out here. It's probably a pretty big number. 576. So 575 is probably the right answer, right? Because 0 through, yep. So it looks like we were able to find the best answer here. So 25. If we go back to 25, we're clearly, you know, we're kind of getting there. But 25 generations just wasn't enough. But I'm curious, what if we make the population size bigger? And we hit run, right? So 100 size population, but still only 25 generations. What was the max number that you said?
48,576.
570, yeah. So, I mean, it looks like we're with a bigger population. Hey, there we go. We're in great shape, right? So population size, you know, the bigger, it kind of like helps our exploration space. Like how like broadly we're searching. We have more points in space, right? Where generations allows those points to move around longer in search of the best thing it can find. So we get a sense of how these things work here. I'm going to go back to 10 for a second. Let's do population size 10. 1023. So we're still getting there, but I'm curious, like what happens if we like really up the mutation to like 50? You know, it's kind of hard to see, I guess, with these small numbers. Anyways, so what was I going to say to do? All right, so below is what we were calling like a learning curve. One line shows the fitness of the best candidate solution, that's the blue one, and the other shows the average of the population. I could have also shown the minimum, but the minimum is often pretty like sporadic, so it's, you know, not a lot you're going to get from there. So we can see that, like, you know, there's ups and downs, right? Things can happen during evolution that like hurt the population's fitness as a whole in terms of like the average population, but you can see over time there's this trajectory upward, right? So if I go down here, I'm just going to uncomment all this stuff out. I'm going to hit run, and we should be able to see some plots. Yeah, there we go. So I hit run again. There we go. This is what we got this time. Great. Let's do it again for fun. Awesome. Fun. Ooh, whoa, that's interesting. It actually got worse and then never recovered. But look, there's 0 diversity, right? And that means like we were solely like counting on mutation here. I'm getting a lot of the same here. Whoa, it's kind of fun. But you get a sense of like, you know, what's happening, right? This is showing, and remember, this is number of generations at the bottom. So as time goes on, we quickly like get in a much better spot. And the same with like best, you know, I mean, best looks like we probably found it around here pretty early, around generation 10, it looks like, maybe 11. Cool. But let's see what happens. Yeah, let's, actually, before I spoil the fun, all right, okay. These are the settings I used. All right, great, experiment. Yeah, okay. Increase the number of. So, I'm going to give for the fun of it, I'll start with this first one here. But let's make this more difficult. Let's say, let's make n 20, right? And we'll do a plot. And this will probably give us a little bit, it's still learning really quickly. Something like 20 isn't even hard for it. Okay, maybe let's make it like, oops. Is everyone, by the way, I want to make sure, does everyone understand what I'm doing right now? We're just like tinkering around, we're just playing around with it, hitting run and seeing how it reacts. That's all we're doing at this stage. To me, this is the best way to learn this stuff. I'm going to carry on lecturing like next time, right? Obviously. But for now, I think one of the best things we could do is just get your hands dirty and play with it, tinker with it, see how it works. So I'm going to do one last thing here, and then I'm going to hand it to you all to just get playing around with it. I don't know, let's make it, I guess, 50? I don't even know. Those are some big numbers. I feel like it's learning too fast. Yeah. Okay, this is getting this is getting ridiculous. Well, that's weird, but that's not what I want. By the way, also, it's stochastic. By the way, evolutionary computation people, and like machine learning people in general, raise your hand if you know what the word stochastic means. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm going to tell you right now. It's a fancier version of the word random. But machine learning people, especially like evolutionary computation people, we really don't like to use the word random, so we use the word stochastic instead. They mean the same thing, but we avoid using the word random. And there's kind of a reason for that. It's because it is common to naively think about evolutionary algorithms, or just evolution in general, as it's a random process, right? It's random. It's a random search, right? We're randomly searching the search space. But that's not really true once you have an understanding of all the different mechanics at play of an evolutionary algorithm. Your things like selection and crossover and fitness. And all of those things, when you put it together, like, yes, there's aspects of it that are random, but it's definitely not a random search. If we did a random search, we wouldn't be doing as well as we are if we do something like an evolutionary algorithm. So to really kind of like differentiate from the idea of like a random search, we'll use the word stochastic, even though, again, they just mean the same thing. Maybe it's an insecurity thing, I don't know, but they love using the word stochastic instead. All right, and you can see how stochastic it is, because every time I hit run, we're getting wildly different results, right? Like, look at these plots. All right, well, anyways, you can see how over time it gets better and better and better, right? That's what we want. Hooray.
I can imagine it's probably because it's based on the order of bits, right? So as soon as it finds some of the chromosomes, I guess, or whatever, or candidates that have like a 1 in it, one of the very significant bits, I guess, then it'll just choose all those, and it just shoots all right up.
Absolutely.
Kind of how
Absolutely. In fact, very good observation that we will circle back to very shortly. All right, so here's what I want you to do. Go just play around with this a little bit. I'll walk around for a few minutes, play around with it a little bit. Raise your hand if you have it working on your computer. Or raise your hand if you have it, if this is runnable within the next 5 minutes on your computer. Raise your hand if it won't be. Good, okay, good. So I'll give you some time to play with it, get it running, make sure it's working. I'm just gonna pause the recording right now, okay? It's being paused. Whatever, short video for today. Actually, you know what? I will say we had a lecture activity today because you got running and whatnot, so that's the lecture activity, but don't worry about handing anything in. I'll just add it when I get back to my office. Cool? All right. Well done, everybody.